Good evening, everybody. That's a little bit loud. Um, I'm Brian Fraser, Executive Director of North Andover CAM, and I would like to welcome everybody to this session of our annual meeting during COVID-19. So we are starting our session, and then we will move this on to a time and place where we can include membership to the fullest to a degree. It's hard to talk with a slight delay in my ears. So, so at this point, I'll turn it over to our board president, Peter Bailey.
So we're gonna start the meeting off with, we're gonna have a motion. One of the board members will read it off to adjourn to the date of June. So we'll have Mike do that. So I'll turn it over to Mike.
To read our statement from COVID.
Yeah, so I'm going to read the COVID statement. So regarding Governor Baker's March 12th, 2020 order suspending certain provisions of the open meeting law, General Laws, Chapter 30A, Section 18, the governor's March 15, 2020 order imposing strict limitation on the number of people that may gather in one place, and specifically pursuant to Massachusetts legislation enacted on April 3rd, 2020, Section 16 of Chapter 53 of the Acts of 2020, which addresses numerous pandemic-related challenges faced by Massachusetts nonprofit corporations attempting to conduct business while maintaining social distancing. The new law sets forth modifications applicable to Massachusetts nonprofit corporations for the duration of the governor's March 2020 COVID-19 declaration of emergency, and for 60 days thereafter. This year's annual meeting of members will open today, April 30th, 2020, and then we will adjourn the meeting from time to time to safely hold our annual meeting of members at a later date, either in person or via online conferencing.
All right. So for a kind of an explanation to that, and kind of wave at me if you start talking, because I have to take my earpiece out so I don't trip over the delay. But the bottom line is we are, within our bylaws, we are able to, if we do not reach a quorum of members, which we don't have today, to adjourn the meeting to a different date, and that's a normal function of our bylaws. The provisions from the governor, from the provisions of the governor also allow that board members could cancel a meeting of members without notice. We're not doing that. We're just, we're starting the process, opening the meeting, and then doing the business of the meeting at a later date when we can fully organize the process over a remote participation. The other provisions that open it up, also just to make sure that everybody knows that we are complying with business standards in this crisis time. The ruling also allows a director or officer to continue to serve beyond the expiration of his or her term during the state of emergency until a successor director or officer is elected or appointed. It also allows directors to participate in regular special meetings conducted either remotely or by any means of communication by which all directors are able to simultaneously communicate with each other during the meeting. It also allows members at a meeting of the members to vote in person or by proxy, provided any member of voting by proxy shall be considered present at the meeting for purposes of quorum. Basically, that's saying that the new norm, you are considered in person as long as you're remotely participating in an active dialogue, not just watching a webinar or something like that, but the Zoom or Google Hangout meetings our membership will be able to communicate back and forth. They can also vote at those meetings. The board members can also appoint successors if there's vacancy, because people can't serve past their terms. But that's standard procedure in our bylaws also. Allow members to participate remotely in a meeting of members subject to the use of reasonable participation, voting and identification members as further detailed in the statute, and allow nonprofit boards to be more flexibility to avail themselves of any reasonable method of giving notice of board meetings. Our notice of board meetings won't change. We usually typically do that via email, whereas the public bodies have to present it in a physical location. We don't have to do that. We have to notify our members by two versions, either email or web, that type of thing. So that's some kind of brief explanation. There was one more thing I wanted to mention. The next meeting, the next part of this meeting allows members to participate in any meeting members by remote participation, participation by remote communication at any meeting of the members shall constitute a presence. I kind of explained that before. At such meeting, if reasonable measurements are implemented that verify that each person is deemed present and they are permitted to vote. We're talking about our voting membership. As long as we have something in place that identifies them as eligible to vote and they can remotely participate, that all works. So what that provision opens up is where things in our bylaws say there's no proxy voting or remote voting. This emergency order alleviates the bylaws of that. If there were something in our articles of organization that prohibited it, that's the only catch, and I do not see anything in our articles of organization. So we are covered by the emergency orders by the governor. And that's all I have.
Right.
So then, as long as there's no other discussion on that, we can make a motion to move our date.
So I would like to make the motion to fix the time to which to adjourn to the date of June 18th, starting at 7 p.m.
I second the motion.
Awesome.
Any discussion on it?
I don't think we're legally able to discuss from
Okay,
that point on.
okay, then the motion passes.
All good? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Excellent.
And the motion passes.
Thank you for transacting that, and we will get all our notifications out in a timely manner after this as we sort out this new normal.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, everybody.
All right.
Thank you.
Stay
Thank
safe.
you. Thank you.